This faded sail back to black with Derek here. Nothing but heat. Look at that.
Go over it and let it heat up, and once the area gets
Obviously, you got to be careful. I mean, you're not going to burn this stuff up, but it really does bring it out a lot quicker.
Put a little protection there. You can finish
To it. You're not going to want to touch your heat gun. The metal.
Just to show you a little spot, so you can see the difference.
Right on the edges.
Circular motion here. Just gently heating up the plastic to renew the color in it.
Just stop. When we tested out Lithium's trim serum on the second episode of our Trailblazer series, I mentioned that there was a best way, a good way, and a god-awful way to repair the trim on any particular vehicle. But I didn't go into detail on the god-awful way. Well, since then, I've done some research and I've seen a plethora of videos on YouTube talking about using a heat gun to fix the cladding on the Avalanche or on other vehicles. But more often than not, it's going to be these first generation Avalanches. And it just makes me cringe. What? Oh, nothing. I'm just happy to see you actually keeping your word for a change. Yeah, well, guess what? I'm doing what you should have done when you first posted the video on the Trailblazer. You took ownership of it, so I'm out. I hate that guy. Now, the first thing I do want to make perfectly crystal clear, I'm not a scientist, I'm not an expert in polymers, I'm not a body man, I'm not a paint guy. But I like to think I have a modicum of common sense. So, let's go over why a heat gun is the absolute worst idea for restoring your plastic trim, especially on these first generation Avalanches with the body cladding. Okay, here we have one of the tonneau covers off the back of my Avalanche, and as you can see, it has gotten to that same chalky white faded look that the body cladding gets to. Now, I understand that the materials are slightly different between the tonneau covers and the plastic cladding, but the science is exactly the same. Now, if we were to take a heat gun and start heating up this tonneau cover, the color would come back. The problem is, it would also be gone again in about 6 months, and then you'd have to do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. So why is that a problem? Well, it's a problem for a couple of reasons. The first reason is, as you're heating this up, you're actually melting it, and what you're doing is extracting the oils within that plastic, or in this case, that vinylized plastic, and making it brittle and easier to crack. On the body cladding itself, if you've ever seen a first generation Avalanche and they've got the holes in the body cladding, that's a direct result of a heat gun method being used to restore that cladding. It's actually drawing the oils within the plastic to the surface where, like the previous layer, they will evaporate and you'll get that white, chalky, zebra striped look. So that's the first reason. The second reason is that there's always a chance of melting or warping the plastic, creating a wavy look and ruining the texture on that cladding. So if you don't know what you're doing, you could actually create hot spots and actually melt the plastic you're trying to restore. So not at all a method I would ever recommend to anybody serious about restoration. So, what are the options? The good way involves a trim restoration product. In our case, when we did the Trailblazer, we used Lithium's trim serum, and it worked absolutely fantastic. That gray cladding came back to life, which is absolutely amazing considering I only did one application, and the instructions recommended too, because it had never been done before. It also lasted about 6 months, and that's pretty good considering that I run my cars through a car wash every day I drive them. So the other option is to buff it out. And I found this out by accident when we were doing the front end restoration on the Trailblazer in the very first episode on this channel. And I was using Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and a stiff foam waffle pad on my drill head when I actually made that front gray cladding look new on the Trailblazer. So, this is a short-term solution. This is a slightly longer-term solution, but they both work. And I'm going to show you what they look like right now. All right, the first thing we're going to do is tape off on either end and in the middle of the tonneau cover. That's going to give us a good contrast so we can see where we go with each individual product. After that, we'll do an application, and then we'll do a comparison. So, without any further ado, now that everything is taped up, let's get started. Just to make sure we keep everything straight, on the left side of the tonneau cover, we will be using Lithium's trim serum, which is the longer-term solution that was used and reviewed on this channel. On the right, we'll be using Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and my drill and a firm waffle pad, which was the short-term solution when I did the Trailblazer's first video. And now, let's see how it looks when we use the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and a firm white waffle pad. Here we go. So there you have it. Two good ways to restore your trim, one better than the other, one longer lasting than the other. Like I said in our Trailblazer Lithium Trim Serum review, I stand by this product. They haven't sponsored me. I bought this on my own. This product is fantastic, so we could probably call this another pseudo review for Lithium's Trim Serum. The plastic came out absolutely gorgeous. Now when you get to the right side, where we just use the compound and the waffle pad, yeah, it cleaned it up, but not quite as nice. And that's because all it did was lift the surface oxidation out of the surface of the tonneau cover. It didn't actually replenish any of those oils that were missing from inside the tonneau cover. So, now that that's done, I'm going to go back and I'm going to finish out the entire tonneau cover and make it look as close to factory new as I can with just a few simple, easy wipes using Lithium Trim Serum. So there you have it. Two good methods of restoring your trim, whether it's the cladding on one of the first generation Avalanches, or the textured trim on a Trailblazer, or pretty much any car with rubber or vinyl or plastic trim that's out there on the road today. But again, I'm one of those trust but verify, and I don't want you to think I'm doing anything goofy, so This is cover number 3 off of the tonneau covers on my Avalanche. And here is tonneau cover number 2. I'll let you be the judge. So there you have it. 2 good ways to restore trim on any vehicle that's out there, whether it's a first generation Avalanche, a Jeep with rubber or textured plastic trim, or the Trailblazer that we use in our other episodes. What about the best way? Well, the best way to do this is rather involved, and so we're going to save that as the topic of a future video. In the meantime, if you're enjoying the content we're creating, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave us a comment down in the comments section below. Let us know what you're driving as a daily driver and how you deal with faded or broken trim in your vehicles. In the meantime, my name is Big Mike. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.